Supreme Court, illegitimate. Supreme Court, illegitimate. Supreme Court, illegitimate. This decision, illegitimate.
Hello, all of my fabulous, beautiful people, and how are you all doing today? I hope that you are all doing very, very well. So, as most of you know, I am an anti-MLM creator. I usually do videos about unethical business practices, how they can be more ethical. We talk about pyramid schemes a lot on this channel. We talk about cults a lot on this channel, and that's kind of my gig, other than the odd comedy video here and there, or me trying to get away from trolls with commentary somehow. That's what I do. So today, though, I have something a little bit different. It isn't quite fully an MLM. However, it has to do with activism, and it also has to do with abortion. Now, a lot of people are in the USA right now, and they are experiencing the overturn of Roe versus Wade. I myself am Canadian, and I'm watching this from the outside, absolutely horrified. I am completely pro-choice. I am a humanist. I believe that everyone in this world has the right to choose what they do with their body. I believe that everyone in this world should be treated with human decency, and I believe that everyone in this world should have equality, including men, which is what often gets me canceled, because I just think equality for all, and I'm not a feminist. There are a lot of people that are activists right now that are in the USA. They're protesting. I'm all for you guys protesting this. And because this is going on, there has been an activist group that has jumped up and been kind of out and about and trying to get people to join it. But it's not exactly what it looks like. And it does have some MLM connotations and has even been called an MLM. So because of this, I do want to talk about that today. I would like to discuss this group because I want to make sure that if there is anyone out here that is doing activism and you are out there and you are fighting for pro-choice rights right now, I'm with you. Please continue on. But also, please look out for this group, because it would really break my heart if you're out here trying to do something good and then this place took advantage of you. So without further ado, let's just roll the intro and then get right into it. Abortion rights activists call new group leading protests a front for a far-left cult. So, of course, this grabbed my attention, and I do want to share it, like I said, because I do think it's important information. So this is about the Rise Up for Abortion Rights, which is a new protest group, and it is led by followers of a fringe communist theorist who is Bob Avakian. I can never say that right. You should be well aware of who that is. And just in case you are not,
maybe we can imagine him saying something like this. Yes, Bob, why is that? Why? I'll tell you why. Because you have fucked up the rest of the world even worse than what you have done in this country.
The right to vote, everything should be done to fight against that. But having the right to do something is not the same thing as saying you should do it.
This man is the founder and chairman of the Revolutionary Communist Party. He developed the organization's official ideology, a theoretical framework rooted in Maoism, which is just awesome, called the New Synthesis or the New Communism, coming out of the New Left. So this is new. He has also written several books over 4 decades, including an autobiography. He's a really, really controversial figure. So again, like I said, I think that a lot of people are aware of who this is, but just in case you're not, there's a little bit of background. I highly suggest looking into him. He has a whole cult of personality around him. It's quite interesting. So yes, go look into that. But that is who is now running this site. This is the website here, riseupforabortionrights.org. As you can see, it says the illegitimate overturning of abortion rights must not stand. And I agree. Most people do. So it's a very easy thing to kind of show up and say that you're advocating for the rights of abortion. When Mrs. Cortez here joined protesters outside the Supreme Court the day that Roe v. Wade was overturned, the progressive representative from New York was quickly surrounded by members of a newly formed group, Rise Up for Abortion Rights, who wore green bandanas and waved signs with slogans and the group's web address. A founder of Rise Up, Sansara Taylor, pushed past an Ocasio-Cortez aide and got the New York representative to join her in chanting through a megaphone that the decision was illegitimate and needed to be contested by going into the streets. And it says, AOC joined us in the streets to call out this decision for what it is, illegitimate. This court is illegitimate and this decision must not stand. Legal nationwide abortion on demand. Get in the streets now and tomorrow and the next day. Post-Roe, hell no.
Supreme Court, illegitimate! Supreme Court, illegitimate! Supreme Court, illegitimate!
Actually fucking do something! Actually fucking do something about this shit! Don't fucking cheer! Fucking fight! I wanna hear action! I wanna hear real action done!
Illegitimate! Illegitimate! This decision! 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 Illegitimate! This decision!
Okay, I think we got the point. Taylor, a longtime leader of the tiny Harlem-based Revolutionary Communist Party, a group better known as the Revcoms, which is dedicated to spreading the ideas of the former 60s radical Bob Avakian, then offered Ocasio-Cortez the mic as the Democratic Congresswoman spoke. Taylor also handed her a green bandana, a symbol of abortion rights in Latin America, available for purchase on the Rise Up website. Cortez told the protesters that the effort to restore the right to an abortion nationwide would be a generational fight. A reporter asked what Congress could do. As she gathered her thoughts, Taylor interjected, "Fill the streets." And Mrs. Cortez here agreed. "We have to fill the streets," she said. "Right now, elections are not enough." And here she is.
We are the ones with the tools. We are the ones with the bricks and the wood and the hammers and the screwdrivers to build this thing right back up. It's been torn down.
So again, I just want to point out that I agree with these protests. I agree that this Roe versus Wade should not be overturned. I am actually okay with her protesting, but we have to be careful what groups we trust, right? Before she left, she took a moment to comfort one of the young Rise Up protesters, Julianne Derrida, a 21-year-old from Texas who was in tears behind her. As Ocasio-Cortez hugged her, Taylor started a chant of the slogan that is also the group's name, Rise Up for Abortion Rights.
Streets! Into the 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 streets! Rise up for abortion rights! 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 AOC, can I get
actually here for the protest. You guys are fucking reporters. I'm actually here for the protest.
Anyone watching news coverage of the protests at the court that day and in the weeks since would be forgiven for thinking that Rise Up for Abortion Rights must be on the nation's leading reproductive rights organizations, since its activists' chants, play cards, and the green bandanas and stickers sold on its website prominently featured in report after report. The day after Roe versus Wade was overturned, for instance, an MSNBC, we love that place, don't we, interview with Derrida and another young member of the group, Zoe Warren, who was 19, went viral as a frustration at Democrats for failing to codify Roe, and fundraising off the decision was seconded by progressives like Ocasio-Cortez and Nina Turner.
For abortion rights. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Appreciate it. Zoe, talk to me first about why it is you wanted to come out here today, because something that struck me was when you were speaking earlier and you mentioned your anger because you had received a text message from the Biden campaign. Why is that?
So I received a text message from Joe Biden's campaign yesterday saying that the Supreme Court had overturned Roe versus Wade and that it was my responsibility to then rush $15 to the Democratic National Party. That was absolutely outrageous because my rights should not be a fundraising point for them or a campaigning point. They have had multiple opportunities to codify Roe into law over the past 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and they haven't done it. And if they're going to keep campaigning on this point, they should actually do something about it.
I mean, she's not wrong. Like the guy that posted it said, But the flurry of attention in recent weeks is misleading, since Rise Up for Abortion Rights has only existed since January. That was when Taylor and a handful of other RevCom activists launched it with a protester outside the Supreme Court on the 49th and final anniversary of Roe versus Wade. The role played by RevCom members in the recent wave of abortion rights demonstrations has alarmed grassroots organizers for reproductive justice and experts on left-wing movements who liken the devotion of self-described followers of Bob Avakian to a cult. And maybe we'll dive into this deeper. Let me know if that's something you would like me to do, because I love it when my trolls who are communists come for me more. It makes me so happy. That viral clip of the woman in the green shirt, Zoe Warren? Amani Gandhi, senior editor of law and policy for Rewire News Group, tweeted she is associated with Rise Up for Abortion Rights, which is yet another one of Bob Avakian's many social justice fronts. He occupies space in order to get more people to join his weird cult. And this is why I gotta speak out. Talia Jane, an independent reporter who covers extremism and activism, has compared the RevComs and their new offshoot to a multi-level marketing or MLM scam. So if you are anti-MLM, please be careful supporting this. If you do not want to join a cult, which I hope most of you do not want to do that, then be wary, please. We got enough cults running out here, all right? RevCom showed up even though they're not welcome. So I told people about how they're a scam cult taking advantage of new people who want to get involved. Jane reported on Twitter after a protest in New York in May. If you took any pictures or flyers of Rise Up for Abortion Rights, the girls with the white pants with blood in the crotch, she added, please know they are a scam front run by a MLM cult that thinks their dear leader will return to tell them how to revolution if everyone joins their cause. It's very sad to me that there is a group out there taking advantage of people who really just want to advocate for the rights of abortion. Sam Goldman, a Rise Up leader who has promoted Avakian's teaching in the past, sent me an official statement from the group rejecting the criticism. Of course he did. Goldman, who also hosts a podcast for another offshoot of the RevComs called Refuse Fascism, said that it was incorrect to untruthfully conflate Rise Up for Abortion Rights and the RevComs. But recent Rise Up for Abortion Rights protests in New York and Los Angeles have been led by RevCom activists wearing RevCom t-shirts So please explain to us how it's not all connected, sir. Rise Up has also been criticized by veteran abortion rights activists for focusing from January through June on the quixotic strategy of trying to stop the Supreme Court's conservative supermajority from overturning Roe by calling on millions of Americans to take to the streets. To that end, in June, Rise Up for Abortion Rights volunteers staged a series of small theatrical protests which drew media attention but failed to either ignite a mass movement or keep 5 justices from signing Justice Samuel Alito's majority opinion in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization, which held that Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. Grassroots reproductive rights organizers also claim that Rise Up's own fundraising, which is boosted by media coverage, has only served to divert much needed resources and attention away from organizations that actually do the important work, like defending abortion clinics and providing funds to people who need to travel to obtain abortions. Which, can I just point out that one of the reasons why I get so fed up with activist groups is because of that, okay? They'll do things like go out on the streets, but then are they actually helping the abortion clinics? Are they actually helping women go and get safe abortions? That's what's truly important, right? In early June, for example, the Texas-based writer and reproductive justice activist Andrea Grimes criticized a protest in Houston at the televangelist Joel Osteen's megachurch. We all love Joel Osteen, don't we? In which Doretta and 2 other women stripped down to their underwear during a service and shouted, "It's my body, my fucking choice."
It's my body, my fucking choice. It's my body, my choice.
Chapter 4,
Overturn Roe? Hell no. My body, my choice. I am who I say I am. I do what I say I can do because I have a choice. I have a choice. I have a choice.
I know this. I'm glad to be in the house of the Lord.
What's even scarier to me is that everyone that's there is probably against abortion, so it's, I haven't seen this gaining traction anywhere meaningful, but for reporters covering whatever these dipshits do next, these folks are part of a widely despised cult of personality not tied to any serious repo health, rights, or justice organization. Grimes commented on Twitter, "They are not supported by folks here doing the work on the ground. Nobody knows them. Nobody likes them. They're not a thing. They show up when the cameras come on. So please, guys, be wary of this." Grimes added that she and other members of a group called Texans for Reproductive Justice, which actually sounds like a decent group, go support them if you're in the Texas area, even if you're not, but especially if you are, had previously denounced a prior Revcom abortion rights group led by Taylor called Stop Patriarchy when it staged a series of unwelcome marches there in 2014, in which activists wore chains and chanted, "Forced motherhood is female enslavement," by equating restrictions on abortion to slavery, which, it's a bit much. Please don't do that. Grimes wrote at the time, Taylor and other followers of Avakian disrespected the suffering experienced by the ancestors of people of color. Yeah, please don't do that. When she led the protest outside the Supreme Court that Ocasio-Cortez joined last month, Taylor was wearing a Revcom t-shirt that read, "Forced motherhood is female enslavement." So see, that's a connection. In late June, Rise Up was similarly criticized for staging a protest outside Justice Amy Coney Barrett's home, in which a 15-year-old girl and a half a dozen others wore white pants with fake bloodstains and carried dolls in their bound hands. I don't really want to play that one because it bothers me that they used a 15-year-old teenage girl for this. Don't do that. Why do they have these kids out here doing this dumb shit? Mary Drummer, who apparently does not mess around and just comes out with it, and is an activist and digital strategist who has led advocacy campaigns for Planned Parenthood, Color of Change, and Move On, which are all very good advocacy campaigns that are supported. What purpose does this serve? How is this strategic? It's not. It's just making a big show, isn't it? Rise Up for Abortion Rights, Drummer argued, is a front group of the Revolutionary Communist Party, which is also known as RCP or RevCom, which is basically a cult run by Bob Avakian and is known for co-opting social justice movements and protests. Drummer noted that RevCom activists had previously been accused of trying to amplify anger over racist policing to trigger the full-scale communist revolution mapped out in Avakian's tracks. Yes, this man has a plan. For instance, RevCom activists in t-shirts with Avakian quotes were greeted with suspicion when they appeared in Ferguson, Missouri in 2014, when the police shooting of Michael Brown gave rise to the Black Lives Matter movement. In other words, RevCom really likes to come in and just take over any activism, don't they? Oh, look, that's the next sentence. RevComs is notorious for swooping, descending on protests organized by other groups, positioning their banners and signs prominently where they'll be photographed, but then leaving the event at the first sign of police or counter-protesters. One left-wing organizer who has to remain anonymous, I don't blame you, sis, don't worry, to comment on the group's tactics, told me in an interview, all they do is lead pointless marches designed for photo ops. Which, again, I don't find that very fair. Well, they're showing up, they're getting all of the spotlight to me, while the people that are doing the real work are now being pushed aside or not being noticed. I want the people that are actually out there on the streets that are actually doing this real work to be noticed, okay? Not these people that just come swoop in. They don't deserve it. Get out of here! In the days after the viral video of Zoe Warren's comments brought Rise Up national attention, a coalition of pro-abortion activists from nearly 24 organizations, led by NYC for Abortion Rights, released a statement denouncing the group as a cult and a pyramid scheme. So again, that is why I am here to cover this, because I feel like it is not getting enough attention, and people are definitely calling it a cult and a pyramid scheme, and I'm pro-choice, so here I am. Similar to its parent group, RevCom, Rise Up's only goal appears to be gaining more followers in order to raise more and more money. The second you go to this place's website, by the way, I will show you the very first thing that you will notice right here is to take action. What does that mean? Well, that means they want you to basically donate money to all of this, which, again, where's the money going? Both essentially function as pyramid schemes that prey on social movements. RevCom and its fronts Rise Up and Refuse Fascism are notorious for raising tens of thousands of dollars and using those funds to pay RevCom leadership and to purchase marketing materials to raise even more money. Lovely, right? The Rise Up website, for instance, features urgent prompts to donate with no information about where this money goes. Exactly. What we do know is that this money never goes to abortion funds, which they argue are not a strategy to defend abortion access, which confuses me and makes my head explode. Providers, practical support groups, or anyone actually working to increase abortion access, again, makes my head explode. That's the people you would want to donate the money to. The activists also criticize Rise Up for theatrical tactics like wearing of white pants painted with fake blood, dye-ins, and coat hanger imagery, which further the extremely harmful idea that abortion is a violent procedure and safe, self-managed abortion is not possible. In other words, guys, it adds to the fear-mongering about abortion. Like, don't do that. That doesn't help. Rise Up and the RevComs have heard and rejected the criticism, of course they have, as evidenced by a Rise Up protest last week in Los Angeles, And this article, I'm just going to let you guys know. So we're talking last week. This article, it just came out on July 14th. So it came out 6 days ago. So this was literally 2 weeks ago. All happening right now. So that protest 2 weeks ago in Los Angeles, and it was led by a RevCom activist in a forced motherhood is female enslavement t-shirt in which 4 women wearing white pants daubed with fake blood chained themselves to City Hall as the steps were drenched in red paint.
All right, y'all. For everybody who is watching this right now, this is a call to action. The lives and futures of millions of women and girls are on the line.
Now, again, I just want to bring up the whole fear-mongering thing, okay? This is not helping. This just does not help. This is the type of thing that now those who want to make abortion illegal will clip and use to say, see, look, these people are so pro-abortion, they think it would be great to yank babies out and bleed all down the stairs of the City Hall. Do you know what I mean? That's not helpful for a movement whatsoever. You have to be careful. Some so-called leaders in the so-called movement have decided that the fall of Roe, shutting down of abortion in 8 states immediately with more to follow quickly, is the time to attack the one organization that consistently fought to mobilize people to prevent the fall of Roe.
The fucked up.
And this is important. Scentsy Taylor tweeted in response to Rise Up's critics, there is an unthinking, fanatical pile-on to using the scary word cult to try to tar and keep people away from uniting with followers of Bob Avakian, or heaven forbid, looking into what he is about for themselves. Oh God. The Rise Up statement sent to me by Sam Goldman also attacked the veteran organizers as people who have done absolutely nothing to mobilize people to fight this decision when it was impending over the past 6 months. Okay, sir. Well, now I'm mad. The statement, which was signed by Taylor and the 2 other founders of the group who are not RevComs, also said that Rise Up for Abortion Rights has never used any funds it has raised for any purpose other than exactly what the funds were raised for. Last week, Rise Up added an update to the statement which said that the group's lawyer had sent a letter to those who have accused us of financial wrongdoing, instructing them to cease and desist in spreading these blatantly untrue, baseless, extremely dangerous allegations. Oh yay, I can't wait to get another cease and desist letter. This will be so much fun. A separate statement on the RevCom website also rejected the criticism that the group is a cult, but does so in a curious way by lavishing praise on Bob Avakian to such an extent that it seems to reinforce the charge. I was about to say, that's not how you do that, because now I'm looking at him like they're seeing him as an almighty god, which we know is one of the first things to look out for in a damn cult. Bob Avakian's leadership and the new communism he has brought forward is absolutely essential for making revolution and emancipating humanity, the RevCon statement reads. Any chance at all for not just avoiding the nightmare we are heading toward, but bringing forward instead an emancipating future requires all of you who read this to engage what Bob Avakian has written in a serious way. So to stick up for abortion rights, we gotta then believe everything that man says and join a cult? I'm good. Despite the group's best efforts to sell this man as a revolutionary leader, skepticism of the RevComs is deeply rooted among left-wing activists and commentators, which are the people that have been voted as the OGs of this activism, are telling you, do not trust these new RevCom people. They're a cult, and they just want you to come in and become a communist and listen to everything that stupid Bob has to say. And we don't want to hear what Bob has to say.
Fucked up.
Because Bob's a jerk.
Yeah, I see a lot of, oh, they are a cult? Hey, I see a lot of friends rise up for abortion rights. They are not friends. They are an anti-trans hate group pyramid scheme led by a white male cult leader. What the fuck? Forced motherhood is female enslavement illegitimate?
I know, it's so hard to watch because, like, people really do want to believe that this group is advocating, right? And it is. It's like he thought so too, and now he just clicked on it, and I hate watching people get let down.
Oh, they're fucking RevCom. God damn it, dude. How? How does Bob Avakian pull this shit off, dude?
I don't know.
What the fuck?
Stop
They are cult. They are a fucking cult. God damn it, dude.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know who you are, but I'm so sorry. In a phone interview, however, Warren told me that she had no idea that Rise Up for Abortion Rights was associated with RevComs when she first volunteered for the group 2 months ago, and does not share Sensara Taylor's belief in communism or devotion to Avakian's leadership. See, I can never say this man's name fucking right, okay? I'm sorry. I'm not a member of the RevComs, and I never have been, and I don't plan to be. When I first got involved with Rise Up for Abortion Rights, I didn't know what they were associated with the RevComs. And when I found that out, that was a little concerning for me. So then, like, why are you still there, sis? Get the hell out. But that's the thing, is that there's other groups that are doing these protests that you can go and trust and believe, and they're actually doing the work, aside from this one. So please do that instead, miss. I believe that Rise Up is doing something that no other organization is really doing right now. What, like trying to steal all the spotlight and getting people to join a cult? Because if that's what you're talking about, then yes. And that is calling people into the streets to do something. I believe everyone's doing that. They might not have done before, which is demand more from their government than they are getting. I think people do that all the fucking time, especially in like France and the US. But what do I know? I'm just some bitch on the internet. Because the expert from her MSNBC interview that was clipped and went viral online focused on her anger at Democrats, I asked her if she agreed with Taylor, who tweeted the day after the Roe versus Wade was overturned that it was pointless to rely on voting and the fucking Democrats. Warren told me that she did not think protesting instead of voting was a good idea. I believe that a combination of both is definitely necessary, she said. I think that to a certain point, getting as many people in the streets as possible to demand that our current government make abortion legal nationwide now is an amazingly powerful thing to do. But when November comes around, that doesn't mean we shouldn't vote. We most definitely need to vote, and we most definitely need to vote for Democrats because we do live in a two-party system and they're our only option. Well, I really hope that you vote for the Democrats over the Communist Party. I mean, there's that. All right, guys. So that is my coverage on the RevCom cult that is using the abortion activists in order to try to make money. I do plan on looking further into them and why exactly they're being called an MLM pyramid scheme. Because just because something's ripping people off and using them, it doesn't automatically equate to being an MLM. So let me know if you also want me to look into that further and maybe deep dive this cult a little bit more. I'm thinking of releasing a video where we look through the lovely response that they did on their website, just because that would be fun to do. So let me know if you want to see that. And no matter where you are, what you're doing, I hope that you all have a fabulous, fabulous, fabulous day. Take care, like, sub, all that beautiful stuff. Think of joining our fabulous, amazing members. All the beautiful people do, and you don't want to be ugly like Bob. Fucked up. Okay. Ugly heart, ugly mug. There, I said it. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care. Mwah. Bye. And make sure that you don't join a cult, even to advocate for something good. Okay? Careful of that.
This decision illegitimate.
Fucked up.